What if humans just disappeared? No war, no apocalypse, no virus. We're just gone. Like we were never here. What would happen to our cities? Our pets? The billions of machines that keep civilization humming? Would the Earth finally breathe a sigh of relief? Or would the chaos we left behind destroy it? And here's the crazy part. Scientists actually have answers. The sequence of events that would unfold if we vanished is not only fascinating, it's shocking. The planet wouldn't just survive. In many ways, it would thrive, but not in the way you might think. In this video, we're going to walk through it all, step by step. By the end, you'll see the Earth like you've never imagined it before, an alien world where nature reigns, and we are nothing but a memory. The clock is ticking. It's been 1 hour since every human vanished. At first, the world doesn't seem that different. Cities still glow. Billboards flash. The hum of machinery continues. But already the first signs of change are underway. Planes in the sky, over 20,000 of them at any given time, start running on autopilot. They'll keep flying their programmed routes for a while, but when the fuel runs out, there's no pilot to guide them home. Some crash into forests, oceans, and fields. Others attempt emergency landings, automated systems trying their best, but most will fail. Wreckage begins to scatter across the globe. Back on the ground, vehicles left running crash into sidewalks, guardrails, or simply idle until they stall. On highways, traffic jams freeze forever in place, engines silent, radios still playing to no one. Inside homes, appliances stay on, ovens keep baking, faucets left running start to overflow, but the power grids, they're the next domino to fall. Without human operators, the complex web of electricity can't balance itself for long. Within hours, many power plants automatically shut down to prevent catastrophic failures. In places powered by fossil fuels, generators run out of fuel within a day or two. But nuclear power plants? They're built to survive human error, but not human absence. Some shut down safely, but others could overheat within days. There's a real risk of nuclear meltdowns, silent, invisible disasters waiting to unfold. Meanwhile, water treatment facilities stop working. Pumps that keep our cities dry, especially places like New York and London, begin to fail. Without these, subways flood. Basements fill with water. Streets begin to sink, slowly turning into urban canals. And what about the animals? Your dog, your cat? They wait for you. By the door, by the window, ears perked up, wondering when you'll come back. Days pass. They get hungry, desperate. Many pets, especially small ones, won't survive. But the stronger, more resourceful ones, they'll break free, joining the growing numbers of feral animals in the streets. Farm animals aren't so lucky. Trapped in pens, barns, and cages, most will perish within days or weeks. But a few will escape and start a new wild life on their own. Nature, though, is already paying attention. In the forests beyond our suburbs, in the trees lining city parks, wildlife senses that the apex predator is gone. Foxes, coyotes, raccoons, and deer start creeping into urban spaces, emboldened by the silence. And this is just day one. The question is, what does day 2 look like? Or day 100? The transformation of Earth without us is only just beginning. A week has passed since humanity vanished. The Earth is already starting to change. Without anyone to maintain them, power grids across the globe fail almost entirely. The world goes dark. Cities that once glowed with millions of lights are now pitch black at night. Skylines turned into ghostly silhouettes under the stars. In places where rivers and lakes were held back by dams or levees, the water begins to reclaim its territory. Without constant monitoring, some dams weaken and collapse. Towns downstream are swallowed by floods, washing away streets, cars, and empty homes. Meanwhile, the subways of cities like New York, London, and Tokyo are underwater. Without pumps to keep groundwater out, tunnels become deep, murky lakes, slowly eroding the foundations of the metropolis above. Buildings begin to suffer too, not immediately, but the process has started. Without climate control, moisture creeps in. Wooden structures warp, metal rusts, concrete begins to crack. But the real shift? It's happening in nature. Animals quickly move in. With humans gone, urban spaces become new hunting grounds. Wolves roam freely where taxis once drove. Bears and deer stroll through shopping districts. Birds nest inside traffic lights and rooftops. Rats thrive, feasting on abandoned food and the early casualties of the animal world. Yet, without constant human waste to rely on, rat populations will eventually crash. Only the cleverest, strongest animals will adapt to this new, silent world. Plants, too, are on the move. Seeds carried by the wind find new homes in sidewalk cracks and rooftops. Grass begins to punch through pavement. Vines creep up brick walls. Nature doesn't hesitate. It invades every corner humans left behind. By the end of the first year, some cities look almost post-apocalyptic. Streets are overgrown. Wildlife is everywhere. Glass windows start to shatter from storms and unchecked weather. Roofs collapse under snow or heavy rain. Without maintenance, the skeleton of civilization begins to creak and groan. In some places, fires break out, sparked by lightning or failing infrastructure. With no firefighters left to stop them, these blazes rage unchecked, burning entire neighborhoods to ash. But after the fires come new growth, plants that thrive in burned soil, animals that claim the cleared land. And deep inside nuclear power plants, danger brews. While some reactors shut down safely, others overheat. Without cooling, reactor cores melt. Radiation silently leaks into the environment. Still, life continues, life pushes forward. Earth doesn't mourn us. It adapts, reshapes, and keeps spinning. And this is only the beginning. What happens when decades pass? When entire forests grow where skyscrapers once stood? That's where we're headed next. It's been decades. No human has walked the earth in 50 years, and now, the world looks like something out of a dream, or a nightmare depending on how you see it. The cities we built? They're unrecognizable. Concrete streets have turned into rivers of green. Trees erupt through sidewalks, splitting asphalt like it's paper. Vines drape over the remains of buildings, their leaves spilling out of broken windows and crumbling walls. Nature has reclaimed every surface. The tallest skyscrapers? They don't last forever. Without constant repairs, weather and time begin to win. Glass shatters from wind and storms. Steel frameworks rust and weaken. Eventually, floors collapse. Towers that once touched the clouds fall into heaps of debris, swallowed by plants and moss. Iconic landmarks begin to fade. The Eiffel Tower? It was built to last. But without maintenance, its iron frame begins to rust through. Within a few hundred years, it collapses under its own weight. The Statue of Liberty? The copper skin survives longer, but the iron skeleton inside corrodes, eventually causing her to crumble into the harbor. Bridges, massive feats of engineering, snap like twigs under the relentless assault of rust, weather, and growing plant roots. San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge? Gone, twisted into the sea. But while human monuments fall, life explodes. Wild animals are everywhere. Species that were once endangered thrive without us hunting or confining them. Wolves, bears, elephants, they spread across continents freely. In the absence of cars, roads become wildlife corridors. Entire ecosystems evolve in places that were once city centers. Even domestic animals have changed. Some dogs have returned to their wolf-like ancestors. Feral cats grow larger, wilder. Horses roam freely across former highways, grazing on grass that now grows unchecked. Forests spread into suburbs. Jungles swallow entire neighborhoods. Coastal cities erode and sink as sea levels shift. Beaches overtaking skyscrapers. Coral reefs bloom where piers and ports once stood. The air? Cleaner than it has been in thousands of years. The skies bluer, clearer. Without factories, planes, or cars, pollution disappears. Night skies are pitch black again, glittering with stars. Earth begins to heal in ways we can barely imagine. Yet reminders of us linger. Plastics still clog the oceans. It will take centuries, even millennia, for them to fully break down. Radioactive zones remain dangerous for thousands of years. And satellites, our silent machines in orbit, still circle above, a ghostly reminder that we were once here, decades without humans, and Earth is no longer our planet. It's wild again, free. But what about 1,000 years from now, when every skyscraper has fallen, every road buried under forest? Would any trace of us even remain? That's what we'll explore next. 1,000 years have passed. Humanity is nothing more than a memory, if even that. The world has transformed into something almost unrecognizable. Cities, they're gone. Not just crumbled, erased. Nature has swallowed everything. Animals that once hid in the shadows of human activity now roam freely. Massive herds of wild horses gallop across the grasslands that used to be suburbs. Predators like wolves, bears, and big cats reign supreme again in territories long denied to them. Without fences, borders, or highways to stop them, species spread and adapt. New evolutionary paths emerge. Over centuries, entirely new species might evolve, creatures we've never seen before, shaped by the rewilded earth. Domestic animals, on the other hand, mostly didn't survive. Without human care, species like cows, chickens, and many dog breeds couldn't adapt to the wild. They either died out or were absorbed into the gene pools of wild relatives, reverting back to more primal forms. The air? It's clean. The skies? Crystal clear. CO2 levels have dropped significantly, returned to levels not seen since before the Industrial Revolution. The ozone layer has fully healed. The climate, after centuries of fluctuation, has stabilized into a new, natural rhythm. Yet some of our fingerprints remain. Plastics, those stubborn synthetic leftovers, still litter parts of the earth. Tiny microplastics hide in the soil and oceans, though slowly they are being buried deeper, becoming part of the geological record. Radiation from failed nuclear plants has faded in some areas, though certain hotspots remain dangerous even after centuries. But, as we've seen in Chernobyl, nature doesn't care. Wildlife returns even in radioactive zones, evolving to live with the risks. And then there's space. Above the Earth, thousands of satellites still orbit, a ghostly ring of space junk circling the planet. Most will eventually fall, burning up in the atmosphere, but some could stay up there for tens of thousands of years. An invisible artificial halo, our most lasting monument. The moon still holds our footprints. The flag planted by Apollo astronauts, though tattered by solar winds, is still there. The rovers we sent to Mars, silent but intact, preserved in the Martian dust. If some future intelligence ever visits Earth, will they even know we existed? Or will the faint remnants of our civilization, the plastic, the satellites, the scars on the planet, be the only clue? After 1,000 years, Earth doesn't miss us. It moves on. It grows, evolves, thrives. And in that silence, in that wild rebirth, one thing becomes clear. We may disappear, but our echoes, scattered across the globe, could last forever. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe. And if you want curious questions answered, have a look at some of our other videos.